Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. 900 years ago or less, I think if we are to use present terms on the language, I would say that I am from Delta State. But using today's terms and language, I would say that I'm from Anambra. Meanwhile, I'll give you a little snippet of the story. My community, my townspeople, or some of them, pride ourselves on being OZ City. Our ancestors lived in Obulo, Okiti. Then we crossed the Niger, probably due to pressure from Benin. And today, part of our community lies between Owerri and Onitsha in what you call Anambra State. The story is simple. I repeat what I say, the story is a very straightforward and simple story. We were living in the place you would call Igbo Delta today. That's where we were living. We have not forgotten our history. When our people were much more serious about Omenana, that's the title of our religion and culture, during the New Yam Festival, we will take some offerings to our brothers and sisters that remained in Delta. So, I urge our brothers and sisters that remained in Delta, got influenced much more by Benin, or got influenced by Benin more than the others that left, to recognize that Benin was an empire, and inside Benin lived a lot of people. Benin was like the British Empire. Nigerians, all the ethnicities in Nigeria, were part of that empire. Would they now begin to say that they were ethnically Britons? If you find yourself in Delta, but your language, you can forget about whoever says Bia. Bia is just a term. I'm talking of language. When I was a young man, one of our tenants was from Kwale. I'm talking about when I was really young. One of our tenants was from Kwale. I don't know if it is Kwale's name if it was Kwale that has been transformed to Kwane. But then, we did not think that he was not Igbo, and he did not think that he was not Igbo. And we did not think that we were different people. And we did not need translators or interpreters to understand each other's tongues. But as I said, I'm a historian. I fully understand what's going on. The Igbo people, for much of their history that they recall, have faced defeats, humiliations. So, those that could deny that identity want to deny it. Moreover, due to consistent persecution, a lot of Igbos have turned against the Igbo nation, making the Igbo people to lag behind, making the Igbo people to underperform. So, if you can get the goods from the more dominant and stronger ethnic groups in Nigeria, why wouldn't you deny you are Igbo? If you get a bank license, if you get permission to build a university, if you'll be welcomed into circles that Igbos ordinarily will not be welcomed, and you are Igbo, and you can deny that you are Igbo, I think it's, I won't use the term natural, I think it happens that people want the easier way out. Oneko, when our sister, the songstress that died a few months ago, said she was sure that if she was not Igbo, if she was Yoruba or Hausa or Fulani, that she would have been patronized more by the Nigerian state and by other Nigerians. So this is, let us call a spade a spade. One of the reasons why people would say they are not Igbo. And those that want to convince them that they are Igbo should also be serious. You cannot convince anybody that they are Igbo simply because they say Bia or they tie double wrapper. People can quickly adopt the dress culture of other people. This particular design I'm wearing now was not Igbo, but I love it. It's convenient. It's functional. It enables me to walk. So, that goes for tying double wrapper. When I lived in Abuja, there was this guy from one of the communities in Rivers who was ready to swear that he was not Igbo until I gave him my book titled The Igbos, Jews in Africa, not even the Igbos and Israel or Hebrew Igbo republics. And by the way, I wouldn't say the Igbos, Jews in Africa today. I would say the Igbos, Israelites in Africa, or the Igbos, Hebrews in Africa, because these are different terms. They have different meanings. While the Jews came from the Israelites and the Hebrews, a term you can interchange with Igbo. The Hebrews and the Israelites couldn't have come from the Jews, just like my son couldn't have produced me. I produced my son. God produced my son through me. So, this gentleman, I gave him a copy of that book to read, and after 2 weeks, he came back to me crying. Why was he crying? Ofo. He said, we have Ofo, you have Ofo. Then what happened? He said, we were deceived. But before he came to use the Ofo, he had already seen over 100 traditions of my group in Anambra, that his group in Rivers share in totality. So I urge all these young men and young women that have invested their time and their energy in this worthy cause to also begin to study Omenana. I noted this in one of my earlier videos. I'm surprised that somebody did not understand what I was saying. I was saying that even after they have decided, or after all of us have decided to use the Igbo identity, that is just one step. The second step is to start doing some of the things contained in the identity, like practicing the Igbo religion, called Omenana. I go further to describe it as authentic Israelite biblical Omenana. By the way, for those who are just starting to follow this channel, what the God of Israel called the Israelite religion or described the Israelite religion as is Omenana. Go to Deuteronomy 6:1, read slowly. Why you can say Omenala Ndi Igbo? You can say Omenala Ndi Israel, but you cannot say Omenala Ndi Yoruba. You cannot say Omenala Ndi Fulani. You cannot say Omenala Ndi Hausa. You cannot say Omenala Ndi English. Omenala is not a generic term for religion and culture. It is simply the proper name for the religion of Israel or the religion of the Igbos. And why? The religion is connected to the land. I will have to cut this video now because I've seen a temptation to continue talking. The Igbos don't really know why they make up some of the tales they have made up about land. If they are careful, if they are studious, they will understand it, they will see the reasons in the Bible. The religion is connected to the land. In Nigeria, the Igbo uniquely is the only person that thinks it's an abomination if somebody is buried outside his land. But facts like this have gotten twisted. People now even say that land means God. Well, even when the word God has no equivalent in the Igbo language, you would find a proper name for the supreme being, that is the great God, Chiuku. But God with small g, you don't find it in the Igbo language. The Igbo people are a great people. All that they need is reorientation. And that is what we are engaged with in this channel. The non-Igbos that are here, I think you are also right to be here because we need to make the world a better place. And we can only make it a better place when we begin to understand one another. Thank you very much. So, the Igbo, the Jew, the Samaritan, the Karaite that is here, you are home because if you are Jewish, you are a sibling of Ndi Igbo. Omenala is also your religion and your culture. If you are Samaritan, the same thing applies to you. If you are Karaite, the same thing applies to you. If you are Beta Israel, same thing. But if you are not from the house of Israel, but you love what we are doing, you are doing the correct thing because we are all united as the sons and daughters of Noah. Going back to the sons and daughters of Adam. Have a fruitful and productive week. Thank you.